This video brought to you by FireBreathingAlligator.com. The best long reach match. You can get 3 or 4 lights per small stick. You get 75 sticks per package. I usually put in 80 sticks. This is a used one. You can see it takes the heat and stands up really well. Here are the toothpicks. You get 75 of these small sticks, and you get, like I said, about 3 to 4 lights per per small stick. That's 225 to 300 lights. It's twice the value of competition, maybe 3 times the value. This is part 2 of Judas Iscariot. Let's see here. A little review from the first part of it. Oops, that's not it. This is a review from part 1. There were 2 families in Israel at the time. One family was the Pharisee family, and both families had baby boys. The Pharisee family was the Iscariots, or the Ihariot, excuse me. Simeon Ihariot was the head of the family, the Pharisee family. They named their boy Juda, so Juda Ihariot. The other family was a Judean family, and they were well-to-do, so they could read and write, which was rare. They named their boy Judas, and so they had their son Judas Iscariot, and the Pharisees had their boy Juda Ihariot. The suicide of Juda Iscariot. Juda Iscariot, the betrayer of Emmanuel, was among the counselors who wanted to kill Emmanuel. But when he saw what bad injustice and torture were done to Emmanuel, and that his face was bleeding, he felt remorse, and great distress and misery were in him. At odds with himself, he took his money bag, threw it in front of the chief priests and elders of the council, and said, "I did an evil thing to this person because I was thinking only of golds and silver and goods and wealth. I repent that I betrayed innocent blood, because his teaching does not seem evil to me." But the chief priests and elders said, "How does that concern us? Behold, it is up to you what you want to do to live in peace with yourself." And Juda Iscariot, the son of the Pharisee, Simeon Ihariot, cried and fled, and soon he hanged himself from a tree branch behind the walls of the city in the field of the potter. The chief priests took the pieces of silver and said, "It is useless to put them into the collection box, because it is blood money. What shall we do with it?" Then one of the sons of the elders came and said, "I followed Juda Iscariot, and he has hanged himself from a branch of a tree in the field of the potter." Caiaphas the high priest said, "Well then, give the blood money to the potter, and buy his field with it, for the burial of strangers. At dawn the next day, the business was completed, and Juda Ihariot, the trader of Jmmanuel, was the first to be buried in the field. Juda Iscariot, the son of the Pharisee. But the chief priests and elders of the council spread the news among the people that Judas Iscariot, the disciple of Jmmanuel, had hanged himself as a traitor and was buried in the field of the potter. The people believed this talk, and they said, "He betrayed his friend for pieces of silver, and it serves him right that he hanged himself. He committed a capital crime, and from now on the field of the potter shall be named the field of blood." Jmmanuel was brought before Pilate, the governor, who asked him, "Are you Jmmanuel, whom they call the King of Wisdom?" Jmmanuel said, "You have said it," or something like that. This is from a book called Becoming. These facts logically fill in the gaps that the mainstream anthropologists are unable to explain, and in doing so discredit the historical conjectures. Through the willingness to consider all possibilities, including the two commonly debated conflicting origin theories, the thought process has been enhanced. Once possibility thinking has been incorporated into the mind/brain process, it changes the way all incoming information is considered. It is rather like breaking down a shell that has been artificially placed around each conscious awareness to protect it from considering anything other than the standard approved thought diet that is constantly fed to modern societies. This, of course, is purposeful to shape the collective/mass consciousness of the planetary whole to fit within the plan to control and re-engineer the human worker down the evolutionary scale rather than to allow it to spiral upward normally. Once this understanding is firmly established in the minds of the readers of these messages, it naturally focuses the intent toward thwarting this plan by outsiders that is clearly only for their benefit. No intelligent conscious awareness desires devolution rather than evolution. It also becomes quite clear that in order to change the future experience, it is not possible to use methodology that has been purposely introduced and encouraged by the outside influence that obviously has psychologically planned every human experience to fit within their overall strategy of control. It becomes necessary to understand that in order to outmaneuver these planners, it is necessary to move to a strategy that is at least one step above their model program procedures. Their methods of operation involve using the universal laws in a focus that is not in harmony with the flow of energy generated by the expression of pure potentiality into greater self-contemplation. The plan of devolution of the humans on this planet is in direct opposition to this flow. It is then obvious that the intent to create a different experience is established by purposefully invoking the universal laws to act within the flow that moves expansively through evolution of species. Let's see if I can find the footnote on that. There was a okay. This is a explanation about the capitalization. It is important at this point to discuss the capitalization of various words in this text. It is intended that this material be as free of religious connotations as possible. Current and past experience with priestly manipulation and control cause immediate shutdown or distortion of understanding information that contains these references because of the misinformation about the control of what you call God. We can assure you that the Creator could care less if you honor Him by capitalizing all references to Him. He is much more interested in whether or not you harmonize within the outflow of His creative focus. There is a problem because the very words you choose to indicate awareness of this flow of energy engender reactive feelings. This cannot be helped, so it is best to at least do away with all the capitals. It is one trigger that is best left inactive. That concludes part 2.